Namaste and welcome viewers to another brand new episode of Mirror Prime. I'm Ashish Pareek, and today on this episode we are diving into a story of action, accountability and inspiring push for change. Right here in Delhi NCR in Gurugram, the national capital region, the new Municipal Commissioner Ashok Kumar Garg has made a powerful start to his tenure. He's not just talking, he's also doing. Just 2 days into his new role, Mr. Garg has now sent out a very strong message by locking up private washrooms of senior officials, himself included, and directing everyone to use the same facilities as the employees and the visitors, which is, of course, the Aam Aadmi. It's a simple step, but it carries a huge message. If officials are to improve our public spaces, it has to start with them cleaning up their own house. And this is, of course, now us talking about India's cities, which are of course also facing an uphill battle with cleanliness and infrastructure. From Mumbai's crowded streets to Delhi's landfill crisis, issues pile up every single place that we look at as far as India's cities are concerned, and issues pile up while many of those in charge remain out of touch, often working closely behind closed doors in air-conditioned comfort and far from the dust and grit of the streets. But is this move by the Gurugram Municipal Commissioner enough to set a new example for other civic leaders across the country? Will this be the spark needed to turn things around, not just in Gurugram, but in cities all over India? We'd of course also love to know what you think. If you're watching this show right now, if you have an opinion on this bold initiative, feel free to call us on the numbers that we are flashing below, also sharing your thoughts on it as well. And of course, the question is very simple. Should more civic leaders adopt this hands-on approach? Is this the answer to India's civic issue? Meanwhile, of course, to dive deeper into these questions, we are also thrilled to have the man himself, Ashok Kumar Garg, the Gurugram Municipal Commissioner, here with us tonight. Mr. Ashok Kumar, I'll start off with a cricket analogy here. First of all, appreciate joining us on the broadcast. You seem to have hit the ball completely out of the park in the first over itself. Within just a few days of assuming office, you've already made a bold statement by asking even the senior officers to use a common washroom. Help me understand, where exactly did you get this idea from, and also what was the first response from your officers?
I think that this idea of private toilets is anti-democratic and an irony in itself. The responsibility of the cleanliness of all public toilets in our office buildings is ours. Officers have to maintain all the toilets clean. So we should be confident of our cleanliness. So at least we should use the public toilets, which it is our responsibility to maintain them clean. So why should we use then personal toilets? We should keep the public toilets very clean so that we can use them comfortably. So where is the logic of using the personal toilets? And so many people visit the offices daily. So there should be good facility for them also. Toilets are the basic necessity. And I have experimented with it successfully at few places. Like I was Deputy Commissioner Sirsa earlier, then Deputy Commissioner Rewadi. There also I saw that with the logging of the personal toilets of the officers, the public toilets got cleaned automatically from the day one. And we should not feel that we are VIPs, we are public servants. And we should not keep ourselves above public. At least in the office, we should use the same facilities which are being used by the public. So with this idea, we have initiated this step, and I think it will give a good message to the officers as well as to the public.
And of course, like I said, while we speak to the Municipal Commissioner here, we'll also take your views as well. And right now joining us is Harsh Kumar Malhotra, who's calling us from Gurugram. Harsh, you just heard your new Municipal Commissioner, Ashok Kumar Garg there, speak very clearly about how he wants to make sure that officers don't behave like VIPs. He wants them to behave like public servants. How do you look at this move? All right, we seem to have lost our line there with Harsh Kumar. Also, Dr. Deepshika is joining us from Delhi. Deepshika ji, we just heard the new GMC commissioner, of course, talking about his views and how he wants to bring about change. What do you think?
To bring a change. Just now I have come back from Connaught Place on Baba Khadak Singh Marg. There is going Swadeshi Mela. We went to Rajiv Gandhi Handicraft Emporium upstairs in Haldiram, and they were so bad. Toilets were so bad. So imagine that high class area, and it was so bad that we imagine how could we use it. We felt shameful that in center of Delhi, in such a high class area, they were very bad. It must be maintained by government. I don't know what is the idea. They should really improve it. Only making toilets will not serve. Thank you.
Absolutely, Deepshika ji, a very important point that you're making there. The fact that just building toilets is not important. It's also very important to ensure that the maintenance is also taken care of. And I believe Harsh Malhotra continues to be on the broadcast with us. A caller, of course, had been calling from Gurugram. Harsh, we just heard your new municipal commissioner there talk about his views, how he plans to bring about change. What do you think about it?
Sir, he has joined on 4th of November. He has joined. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a very, very good news, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Harsh, go ahead.
कमिश्नर साहब ये मैसेज स्टाफ को देना चाहते हैं कि क्लीनलीनेस जो है वो कॉमन मैन के लिए भी उतनी जरूरी है जितनी टॉप रैंकिंग ऑफिशियल्स के लिए जरूरी है. He has joined only on 4th of November here, and he has joined only on 4th of November, and from day one he is on foot in the streets and on the roads. He is, and रोज 2 घंटे सवेरे वो मीटिंग लेते हैं जो हम पब्लिक के ग्रीवेंसेस सुनते हैं. एंड ही इज वेरी सीरियस. व्हेन आई एम 73 years old, मैंने पहली बार ऐसा कोई देखा है कि यंग ऑफिसर, IAS ऑफिसर हु इज ए रोल मॉडल एंड ही इज ए ट्रेंड सेटर. मतलब कमाल के ऑफिसर है. मतलब कि सच पीपल शैल गो टू द हाईएस्ट रैंक इन आवर नेशन. तो मैं बड़ा ही इम्प्रेस्ड हूँ और मैं भी उनके साथ ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूँ. उनके एफर्ट्स में मैं retired person who retired general manager from a public sector bank, and I want to contribute my services. I am moved by his endeavors for upliftment of Gurgaon.
Absolutely. Harshji, appreciate you calling us. And of course, public partnership is also very important. Awareness among the public is also very important for officials to carry out their duty efficiently. In fact, let me go back to our guest here, Ashok ji, was of course trying to bring about a change, a drastic change in Gurugram and the way things function. Ashok ji, so what I see here is that along with solving the civic issues of Gurugram, your main focus is also on creating a responsible as well as an accountable administration.
Yeah, responsibility and accountability is the first thing. If nobody is held accountable and responsible, then things never move. So fixing responsibility and holding every official accountable is the first step, and the involvement of the people is also the first step. Actual stakeholders are the people. We are just the custodians. I used to say that we are udte panchi. People are the permanent inhabitants of the area. Their stakes are much higher than our stakes. So they should be involved at every step. I will try to involve people, all RWAs and all interested people in the implementation and planning at every stage. With clear-cut responsibility and accountability, of each official.
Well, of course, we'll continue our chat there with Ashok ji, who's of course trying to bring about a change. Also joining us right now is Charles from Bengaluru. Charles, we're of course talking about Gurugram today, the issues affecting this particular region. But even talking of Bengaluru, one of the concerns that a lot of people have is the crumbling infrastructure. Share your views. What is the change that you're trying to bring about? What do you expect from the authorities? All right. We'll go to Charles there. Of course, there seems to be some audio issue, but Rajinder from Delhi joins us right now. Rajinder ji, go ahead. All right, again, some audio issue there. Tanmay from Mumbai joins us. Tanmay, Mumbai, like a lot of other cities, including Gurugram, also is facing a lot of infrastructural issues as well. Share your views with us here. All right, there seems to be some sort of an audio issue. We'll of course fix that and we'll be back with our callers trying to understand what's the mood of the nation as far as this issue is concerned, because civic issues are the kind of issues that directly impact every single one of us, regardless of what's the strata, what's the social standing or any other standing in the society as well. But meanwhile, going back to Ashok ji here, Ashok ji, you were talking about the partnership with the people as well. One of the callers also spoke about how even he wants to participate, join hands with you. Now, India's civic sense and hygiene has almost become a talking point across the world, rather a joke, I would say. We blame officers, and rightfully so, for not doing their duties and keeping the cities clean. Equally responsible are the people who also need to develop a civic sense among citizens. How do you plan to bring about an awareness, a civic sense among the people of Gurugram?
As I said that we will try to involve people in the planning and implementation. I think this process itself will inculcate a sense of responsibility among people also. When they will have to plan and implement, then they will come to understand that this is not the problem created by administration only, but civic science is also very necessary for keeping the city clean and green also. So I think it is automatic. First thing, involving people in the policy and its implementation itself will create awareness and sense of responsibility among them. And secondly, we will launch awareness campaign also for creating awareness about the responsibility of the public.
All right, we are getting callers from across the nation. Of course, the discussion is on Gurugram, but Mohan from Chennai joins us. Mohan, share your views with us.
Yes, yes, sir. The metropolitan Tamil Nadu is a state where they spend a lot of money on toilets, but a lot of toilets have not been opened up at all, and they spend around 50,000 to 1 lakh on each toilet, sir. So they have to build more toilets, and more money has to be spent for maintenance. And we have a good commissioner who is now trying to implement the new projects. He's a new incumbent, and he is trying to build, and the politicians should also try to help him. And public should also try to help the commissioner and others about officers to implement the projects. Okay.
Absolutely, Mohanji. I think everyone who's listening to you right now agrees with you. The fact that something like this, a change has to come, and a change can only be brought about when there's a partnership between the politicians, the bureaucrats, and also, of course, people, public like you and I as well. In fact, Ashok ji continues to be on the broadcast with us. Ashok ji, could you also walk us through your vision for Gurugram's Municipal Corporation, and how do you exactly plan to instill a sense of accountability in officers?
I think the first priority is to make the city garbage free. It seems that it is a very poor vision, but I think vision will start once we make it clean and garbage free. First thing is to making it garbage free. The second thing is the making it free from the sewer jams. These are the basic necessities. So clearly the initial priorities are to provide the basic facilities basic amenities to the citizens. And after providing these basic facilities, then we can think of other urban facilities like auditoriums, playgrounds, sports facilities, and transportation, easy mobility. These are other things. But first thing, and which is not less challenging, is making the city garbage free.
In fact, Mr. Garg, in the Swachh Bharat survey, a city like Gurugram, which a lot of people think, well, it's a very well developed, it's a modern city, it has been ranked 140 out of the 446 cities in 2024 as far as the cleanliness index is concerned, which is a sharp drop from the earlier positions. How do you manage? How do you plan to fix it?
There are many issues, including litigations and so many things. But the basic strategy will be the same. Working very transparently, involving people in the planning and implementation. That will be the strategy. And fixing responsibility and accountability. Any work, any project we may take up, strategy will remain almost the same. Involving people in planning and implementation and fixing responsibility and accountability.
And Ashok ji, before I let you go, there's of course this notion that officers, babus, they sit in their AC offices, they don't know what's happening on ground, they're not in touch with the ground reality, and it's not just people that complain, it's the contractors, it's your laborers, everyone complains about it. How do you plan to fix this issue?
Government has started Samadhan Shivers in all municipalities. I have made it a point to attend the Samadhan Shivir from 9 to 11 daily, first thing. After that also, I will remain present in my office from 11 to 1 daily to meet other people, some RWAs or other interested people, other stakeholders. And I have made it a point to visit the city daily in some area in the afternoon, maybe from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 4 to 6. And I am doing it regularly since my joining. And it is true that when the officers move out, only then they will come to know the ground realities. And I personally have been moving out, and I will make all officers to move out.
All right, Mr. Ashok Garg, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, sharing your views, your ideas, your strategy for countering the issue that Gurugram is facing. And we wish you all the best. And we, of course, hope that whatever you're planning, of course, comes to fruition as well. Joining us also on the broadcast right now is Anu Lal, who's a lawyer and the author. Anuji, we just heard Ashok Garg there talk. This is, of course, the Gurugram Municipal Commissioner. Now he's just taken charge. He's excited. He's enthusiastic about bringing about a change. He's now, of course, you heard the plan that he's come out with, this master plan. Do you think it's going to make a change?
I want to be very optimistic and I want to be very hopeful. But I've been staying in this city for maybe 20, 25 years almost. So it makes me, my initial reaction is like, okay, fine, let's see. But the gestures that he's talking about, see the things that he's done, it's a very welcome gesture. Let's not discourage. It's the first time that administration's probably shown so much of enthusiasm, and maybe it's also symbolic. At least someone has tried to send a message out, and I think it's happened for the first time maybe. Eventually, we will need it to translate into action. Otherwise, it's plain optics. So what he's basically saying is that if all sarkari afsars, if they come out of their white towel chairs and the lal batti wali gaadi, zameen pe agar pair rakhenge, so they will know where are the potholes, where is the electricity wire hanging, kahan stray dogs hain. I mean, you don't need drones to do a city survey. The officers are enough to do it, and there are enough number of officers in every district. It's just that they have to step up, and they have to step up to the job where they kind of walk where the aam janta walks. So all that our cities want, and this is across the board cities, whether it's Bengaluru, whether it's Mumbai or Gurgaon, we want basically that one honest sarkari afsar to take charge. You know, मुझे एक शेर याद आता है, which is, this reminds me of that शेर which says, दिल की एक आरज़ू थी कि एक honest अफसर मिले, हमको जो भी मिले बेवफा मिले, so the elephant in the room is maybe not necessarily execution, but it's intent, corruption, and accountability. Who is accountable when a city gets flooded? Who is accountable when we see this mess? Eventually, whose heads roll? Nobody's. And Gurgaon is very fortunate. All our councillors are from BJP. Our state government last 10 years has been BJP. The centre is BJP. So there is no dissonance, at least in this city. There should not be any. There's nobody to blame. So high time, I think somebody takes charge.
Absolutely. In fact, Anuj, I've just got a couple of minutes on the broadcast, and I really want to get this point across from you as well. We heard Ashok ji there talk about how important it is for the public to also participate. I mean, the authorities can do all that they can. They can have these schemes, these awareness campaigns, but unless the public realizes the importance of civic sense, they actually try and cooperate with the authorities, nothing's going to work.
Absolutely. I mean, it works both ways. And like we recently saw at that Diljit Doshang show, right? How people trashed the whole stadium. Of course, the public needs civic sense. But also somehow, no, it works both ways. When you grow up seeing litter on your streets, garbage, piles, toilets like these, your own sensitivity also goes down a bit. So I think it's a two-way street many times. We need to build that cleanliness awareness.
Absolutely.
Children
In fact,
on the roads need to see a clean road. I mean, we don't trash a city like Singapore. Why do we trash a city like Gurgaon or Mumbai or Bangalore?
Absolutely. Anuji, interesting point that you're making there. The fact that it actually has to come, and mutual cooperation is something that everyone's talk about. But the other important thing that you also mentioned is mutual trust. The public really needs to have a trust that the person in charge is trying to bring about a change, and that's of course going to bring about an action from their end as well. Really appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, sharing your views about it. And as you said, we of course remain optimistic about this new gesture as well, and we hope it works out. We hope it works across the nation, and civic sense is something that we also hope becomes the norm in India. All right, viewers, on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of Mirror Prime. Lots more lined up on the other side. Stay tuned.